Hey everyone, NitNet here, and welcome back to another Marvel's Avengers video where I tell you everything you need to know about the Marvel's Avengers game coming out September 4th, 2020. Today we're diving right into the prequel comics. A lot of people will skip over this topic and think it's not important, but it actually kind of is. First up is the Iron Man comic. It was advertised in September and released in December 2019. It includes all Avengers present in A-Day, Nick Fury, and the Lethal Legion, including the Beetle, Absorbing Man, Titania, and Whirlwind. These people stole some of Tony's tech. Keep in mind, all this stuff happens before A-Day. This is like the road to A-Day. But they stole Tony's tech, which means he didn't have very good security then either. All in all, it was an okay comic. Pacing was pretty nice. But with this Lethal Legion, we definitely could see them in the game in Warzone missions, either individually or as a whole group. It'd be a really fun thing to tackle with your friends as the Avengers. Next was a Thor comic. It started advertising in October, released in January. It included Thor, Tony, Hulk, but the most importantly, it introduced Loki to this game's universe. Keep in mind, everything in the comics are at least in this game's universe. We probably won't see these all in launch, maybe we will, but we definitely have a very good chance to see these villains post-launch in Warzone missions. Next was the Hulk comic, advertised in November, released in February, included Zzzax, a popular Hulk villain, his girlfriend, I forget what her name was, but she could definitely be in the game. There was a scientist that was seen at A-Day that was like a girl, and she definitely could have been it. And finally, George Tarleton. In the comics that are these prequel comics, George Tarleton is Modok. As we know, AIM is the big bad. So Modok is definitely a big possibility for this game. We'll see how that goes. We don't know about that 100% yet. But there was also a scientist seen at A-Day, so that could also be George Tarleton, aka Modok, in most other comics. We didn't get confirmation that he is Modok, but we did see him in this game's universe. We know he exists. This comic was okay. Both the Thor and Hulk ones had pretty fast, like quick pacing. I'd say the Hulk one was definitely better than the Thor one and the Iron Man one. It was really good. Next was the Captain America comic. Both the Captain America and the Black Widow comics were advertised in December and released in March 2019, then to 2020. This one introduced Batroc the Leaper. We see him in the MCU, popular comic villain. And also, we see a possible Arnim Zola in a flashback, but we don't know if we don't know if we see him or not because nothing's confirmed. They didn't like say his name or anything, but there was a scientist that kind of looked like him. We'll see. The final prequel comic is probably the most important in terms of implications for this game. Nick Fury comes back in this one. Taskmaster is in this one. There's flashbacks to when they're running at the academy. This is also supposedly the best prequel comic. The Raft is mentioned. Taskmaster, we kind of see his origin story here with fighting style and whatever. But most importantly, ever since E3 2019, fans have been asking for Hawkeye. Hawkeye has officially been confirmed in this prequel comic in a line of dialogue to be in this game's universe as Hawkeye, not even Clint Barton. We have confirmation Hawkeye is in this universe. This is big news, Avengers fans. Big news. Do we know if he's going to be in the game yet? No. Could he be an NPC before they add him post-launch? Yes. I'm very excited to play as Hawkeye if he's added. We'll see. Finally, at least with the comics, there was a collection announced to be released late April, so this is kind of recent news, called The Road to A-Day. Now, with this prequel stuff, we also have a book called Marvel's Avengers, The Art of the Game, with some concept art, as also notes from the developers about all this stuff. So when we get this book, this will definitely give us a lot of insight into the game's universe, maybe Easter eggs, whatever. Maybe we'll see unused concept art of costumes. I'm excited for that to come out. I don't know if I'll get it, but I'm excited to see some pictures of it. Finally, there's the Extinction Key novel. it is an official novel. Originally, when it was released, before the official title cover was released, the synopsis mentioned both Doctor Strange and either Doctor or Brother Voodoo, a popular Doctor Strange villain in comics. Now it does not say that. It mentions the Zodiac, a popular Marvel's villains group, or sometimes just villain. And either way, it's going to be really cool to see those in the game's universe if they're added post-launch, which if they're mentioned in the comics and this game does go on for years like they want to, they will have a lot of fun adding characters like Doctor Strange, Brother Voodoo, and the Zodiac, either as individual members, one member. We'll see. Be sure to hit the subscribe bell for more information like this. If you liked what was happening here, to stay tuned for updates. The next video is going to be about Black Widow. Then we'll talk about pre-orders, so make sure you stay tuned for all that. Finally, the last bit of news I wanted to share with you is the saddest news we have ever gotten in Marvel's Avengers history. January 14th, Crystal Dynamics released a letter to its fans announcing the delay of the game to September 4th, 2020. It has always been May 15th, and it has been delayed. The reason for this that they provided is they wanted to polish and fine-tune the game. This is very acceptable. I would not want a half-finished game coming out. Next, let's talk about that, the delay. Around the same time, Cyberpunk delayed their game first, and then Final Fantasy VII Remake delayed their game. So now Final Fantasy VII is out from Square Enix. It was delayed less than Marvel's Avengers was, but still. Cyberpunk 2077 is a popular game with equal and probably more hype from lots of fans than this does. And it did come out around the same time, but Cyberpunk 2077 would have released earlier than this game would have until the delay. Now, Marvel's Avengers is releasing before Cyberpunk 2077. Marvel's Avengers fans will not see Cyberpunk 2077 come out before our game will have more success. Hopefully, people will have already gotten this game before Cyberpunk 2077. Now, the day I'm filming this is May 6th, 2020. Everyone knows about COVID-19, the coronavirus. It has delayed a lot of things, namely movie debuts such as Black Widow. But something fans are thinking about is this game going to be delayed because of coronavirus? Big answer, no. This is because the devs have brought home stuff and are working. This will hopefully, and probably is not, slowing down any work that developers are doing on the game. On top of that, during this coronavirus, the game has gotten a rating from ESRB. We'll do a video about that later. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. But that means this game is complete content-wise. We'll talk about that later at a later date. We've gotten a lot more news past this delay, so stay tuned for that. Give a like if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below. What do you think about Hawkeye, Loki, Nick Fury, all those being confirmed in the game, or at least in the universe? What do you think about the delay? Subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching. See ya!